So you're sitting down for a one-to-one and you get to that part of the conversation where you start talking referrals and then you clam up. How can you ask for referrals without sounding salesy? That's the question we're going to unpack today. We all know that we need to have this conversation, but many of us struggle with how it feels. Maybe it feels a little pushy or a little awkward. It feels like you're turning up that pressure a little bit. So if this sounds like you and your confidence drops the second you start asking for referrals, here's an important mental shift. If asking for referrals feels salesy, it's usually because you're focused on yourself instead of the problem you solve. You see, referrals, it's not about promoting yourself. They're about identifying problems and connecting them to solutions. So let's break this down. First, focus on the problems. Salesy sounds a little something like this. I'm looking for someone who needs my services, or send me someone who wants to grow their business. That kind of language puts the spotlight squarely on you, which feels like a sales pitch. But when you focus on the problem, the whole conversation changes completely. Instead of asking for clients, describe a common problem that you solve. Describe a frustration or a pain point someone is likely experiencing right now. These problems are so much easier to spot because we begin recognizing them in everyday conversations. Every time we hear, I wish, or I need, or I want, those are opportunities. And when you frame your ask around a real problem, you're no longer selling anymore. You're helping people recognize referrals that are all around them every day. Second, use real scenarios from past clients that you've already helped. Generic requests don't create results, they create frustration. If your referral ask could apply to almost anyone in the world, it applies to no one. So think about it for a second. When you're asking for someone, anyone, everyone, you're essentially requesting that that other person goes out prospecting for you. And nobody has time for that. But we do have time to pass you a qualified referral. But in order to receive that referral, you must paint a really clear picture. So talk about that last client you helped. Share specific examples. Describe what was happening before you got involved. The more specific the scenario, the easier it is for people to connect the dots. That clarity is going to remove all the pressure. And when your fellow members can picture that person you're describing, the referrals are going to feel really natural, not forced. Third, in order to not feel salesy, keep that conversation, conversational. You don't need to deliver a perfectly polished speech. You don't need this high pressure language and urgency tactics. You just need clarity and authenticity. Talk the way you would if you were in a one-to-one with a family member. Explain how you would help and the benefits you provide. And then invite people to think about who they can think of that fit that description just perfectly. When your tone is calm and confident, it doesn't feel salesy at all. It feels helpful. So that's it. It's a very simple formula. So if asking for referrals right now feels a little uncomfortable for you, it doesn't mean that you need to stop asking. It means you need to ask better. Focus on the problems, use real life scenarios, and just keep it conversational. And remember this, when someone gives you a referral, they're putting their credibility on the line. So the clearer you are about the problem you solve, the easier it's going to be for them to refer you confidently. So before your next one-to-one, ask yourself this one question. Am I describing what I do, or am I describing the moment someone actually needs me? So make that shift, and the referrals are going to start to feel really natural, not salesy. So I hope you got a little something out of this message today, and if you did, please do me a favor and share this with some of your fellow BNI members who could really use some help in this area. And then take a moment to watch this next video right here. I am pretty confident that it's going to help you unlock results in your BNI chapter. I'll see you soon.